Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to draw a realistic mouth in charcoal pencil. If you like this video, please subscribe for future how to draw videos. Anyway, let's get on to this tutorial. Okay, so I just start off with a basic outline of a mouth. The first thing I do is use a large fluffy makeup brush with some powdered charcoal and just create some tone around the mouth. I then just use the kneaded eraser to go around the outline of the upper lip of the mouth, just so I can see it a bit better. I then use a paintbrush and some powdered charcoal just to fill in the upper part of the lips. Usually when drawing a mouth, the top lip will be a bit darker than the bottom lip. I also use a paintbrush to fill in the bottom lip, but I do this a bit lighter. And the paintbrush also creates a really smooth finish without damaging the paper. I then go in with a General's 2H extra hard charcoal pencil and just outline underneath the bottom lip. When drawing a mouth, there's usually a shadow cast under the bottom lip and there'll be a highlight on the top lip. I then just use the tortillon to blend this out. I then darken it up a bit more, and then I use a small tiny detailing paintbrush just to smooth it out and give it more of a blurred effect. I then go and block in the inner corners of the mouth. This is one of the darker parts of the drawing. I start to add some shading to the teeth using a paintbrush. The teeth on the outsides are darker. This is because the outer teeth are casting more shadow. However, the front teeth are not completely white. It's very important that you don't leave any white bits because it still is casting shadow. I start to outline the bottom of the top lip and start to add in the marks of where the creases are. In order to make a mouth look realistic, it's really important to add the creases and also to take note of the direction of the creases. It's really important that you make the creases in a curved direction and not just straight, so it gives the appearance of a fuller lip and not just something that's flat. So I use the hard charcoal pencil just to sketch in all the creases and where there's a bit more shadow in the top lip. And it looks quite sketchy, but this helps with the texture of the mouth because the mouth is never completely smooth. I then go and do the same with the bottom lip. I just add in where the creases are, and I really make sure they're going in the right direction and make sure that they curve right. For the middle of the lips, bang in the middle, it'll be quite straight. Like you'll see that the crease directly in the middle is pretty much a straight line. But as you go towards the outside of the mouth, they become more and more curved. At the very bottom of the bottom lip there is a highlighted region, and just above this you'll notice that there is more of a kind of shadowed strip. I then blend that out with a tortillon, but I don't completely smooth it out because it's nice for it to have a bit of texture as well. I apply some powdered charcoal to a tortillon and I use this to start to build up the tone on the teeth. I start light and then slowly build it up by applying more pressure on the tortillon. As the teeth were quite smooth, I didn't want to go in with a charcoal pencil and add the texture. I then used a kneaded eraser just to lighten some bits of the teeth up. But even though I used the kneaded eraser to create some highlight, I did not leave it completely white. I then darkened the upper lip a bit more and start to hype up the contrast a bit. I then went in with a kneaded eraser and started to add some highlights to the lower lip. There was a highlight just at the bottom of the bottom lip, which I was talking about earlier, just above the shadow that gets cast. I then used a kneaded eraser to highlight the creases on the lower lip. I then made my kneaded eraser into a little point and started to create some highlights on where the creases of the lips are. When creating the highlights for the creases, you want to highlight just next to where you drew the lines for the crease. You don't want to add the highlight over the top of the line. You just want to emphasize the lines you did for the creases. It's also really important, again, when you're highlighting the creases, to make sure that you keep going in the right direction and don't just draw the line straight. I also used the kneaded eraser to create the highlight on the lower lip in the middle, so I just used that to lift up a bit of the charcoal pencil. I also highlight the top of the top lip. I then go in with the charcoal pencil and just darken up the areas that needed to be a bit darker, just to again add a bit more contrast. Hyping up the contrast is really good for making your drawings pop and to make them look more realistic. I then just use a tortillon to shade the cupid's bow just above the top lip, and finally I go in with a paintbrush and just add some tone around the mouth. And that's it for this tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a like and feel free to subscribe if you're interested in seeing my how to draw videos. So far I've already done a video on how to draw a nose, how to draw a realistic eye, and also how to draw realistic eyebrows. So if you want to watch them, please go and check them out as well. Also, you can follow me on all the social media sites, links will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching and have a good day.